have you training like a 30-day plan, a 60-day, a 90-day plan, but they walk you through on all the different social media platforms that you need and how to organize it and put your picture up there and get yourself connected.
Welcome to This Might Get Creative, a Behind the Brand podcast by Line Creatives. I'm Svenja Line, and in each episode, I sit down with local business owners and entrepreneurs to share their stories, how they got started, what keeps them going, and what makes their business stand out. My goal? To help more amazing businesses be seen, supported, and celebrated. So grab your coffee, because this might just get creative. Welcome to This Might Get Creative, a Behind the Brand podcast hosted by Svenja Line from Line Creatives. Today, I'm talking with someone who's deeply rooted in our community and shows up for it every day. Tara Lauterbach from Remax Heritage Properties. If you live in Mount Olive, New Jersey, you've probably seen Tara at a community event, talking to local business owners, filming short videos around town, or negotiating a deal like it's her own family's home. She mixes old school care with new school marketing and in a way that actually works. We're digging into everything from how buyers and sellers should find solid, trustworthy information online to branding, storytelling, and the hilarious side of real estate. And if you're a realtor listening, this episode is full of practical takeaways you can start using today. Welcome, Tara.
Hi, Svenja. How are you?
Good. Very good. How are you?
I'm good. Getting ready for the holiday season. I'm sure you are as well.
Yes. Do you have anything special for Thanksgiving? Are you hosting or?
I am a guest at my sister-in-law's house and
nice.
Just making some cranberries and mashed potatoes. So
very nice.
Pretty light.
Yeah, very nice. Yeah, we don't have a big family here. So this year we actually decided to, everyone in the family, so my husband and my two daughters and myself, each of us has one dish that nobody else knows about. And so we have to, it's kind of a surprise. So everybody makes it. And let's see, it can turn out awesome or not at all. Who knows? But
it'll be a magical moment that you remember.
Exactly. So, so for anyone who hasn't met you yet, tell us about you, like what you stand for as a realtor and a community connector.
I've been a resident of Mount Olive for 25 years now. Wow. And we are in our second home here. We've raised our kids here. They both graduated during the pandemic, class of 2020 and 2021.
Yeah.
I got into real estate in 2017, and it was just the right time in my life. I knew I was going into real estate. Just family had to be in a certain area and a certain stage before I could make that jump. And I've been involved in the community and have always had work in the area. And I came from a finance background and sales with Nabisco, which became Mondelez. In Philip Morris, then Mondelez. Then I was home with the kids, and I did direct sales for quite some time. And then when the kids were older, I tried doing consulting at M&M Mars and other consulting jobs. So I knew real estate was the right thing for me. While I was raising kids, I was a Girl Scout leader. I was the treasurer of the PTO. I was my husband coached from football, baseball. We were the athletic directors for St. Elizabeth's CYO. So we really knew, part of the community. We were part of the community as our kids grew older.
That's awesome.
So you never know that your reputation is being built when you're not even looking. So do you remember me? I was the president of the Moms Club in 2005. I was like, how are you? Yeah. So it's crazy. So I knew people from Oak Valley, Hackettstown, and finally took the plunge when my daughter was a freshman in high school and my son was an 8th grader. And I love it. This is going to be my last career. Either going to kill me or it's because I love it so much.
Well, you could technically, you could go, I'm not sure if you know, but when you're at a track meet for rec, they have the officials come in and those, it's like always like when you're older, you can be an official.
That's true.
Just an idea.
I was also a swim team mom since Elizabeth was 9.
Okay. I think we all share the same officials. I see officials at the swim meets, the same ones that go to the track meets. So, yeah. So you just said it, but you are in the community constantly. So let's dig a little deeper. And why is community such a big part of your business?
Real estate is not just selling homes. It's a relationship business. If you don't trust the person you're working with and tell them, what you're really looking for and your goals and what's going on, it's hard to just find you a home. It's really much more than that. And the community is a big part of this town and this area, how you want to be integrated in the community. Who do you need to know? Who do you need to know to get something done? Do you just call the office or, they know who works and helps and who, same faces and who's going to contribute to the community. And you build a reputation. So I built that in Mount Olive. So I don't know if I'm being clear.
But let's go deeper in that as well, because there's so many realtors. There's so many realtors and even also so many realtors from Remax and, different companies. So for you, how did you manage to stand out from all the other realtors? Like, because you're so well known in the community, but how do you, be seen?
Well,
what worked for
part
you?
Of that is to really show my personality. I'm not quiet. I'm hardworking, and to let people know, hey, I'm around. I've dealt with conflicts again with all these things, raising your children, and different things with the sports and the community, and how you handle yourself, and bringing that to your workplace, which could be inside of a house. Some days like, hey, I'm sitting in a house, and now you sit down with somebody at the dining room table, and they're trying to sell their biggest, what could be their biggest life investment. This is their home. This is where they raise their family. This is where they have the memories and that they've taken care of this home, or, they've had other things in their lives that they couldn't take care of the home and they need help. So knowing who you can call as a handyman or a roofer to come in and help somebody who needs help. Or I've gotten people involved with mediators and divorce attorneys and the right people for their job, whatever they need. It's not just about the house. I've gotten people in touch with counselors for their children, and people where they can donate to. So they're getting rid of stuff like, I know people in need. Let's donate this furniture. Let's, I feel very connected to this town and this area. It's not just Mount Olive. The northwest corner. I'm in Vernon this week, and I go down to areas in Phillipsburg and Hunter County, in Bedminster. And I at this point I'm doing most of that with referrals from people, and that's fantastic. It's hard to meet strangers, but if they know me, they know how I met them. It's really hard to work sometimes leads just off of an internet call that somebody from, I'm just going to say Bergen County, and they don't know you. But you're referred to by somebody's like, oh, my nephew's looking for a house. Then I will take those referrals.
Yes. So I'm pretty sure that Facebook and Instagram and all those platforms, they're more targeted in, especially Facebook, where you can target different groups and target different areas. Pretty sure that you're pretty active on those platforms as well, correct?
Yes. And it's a constantly changing battle with SEO and advertising in different areas and being on the right analog and what are they changing. And it can be very overwhelming for a realtor, for sure. So it's constantly keeping on the toes to get your digital marketing up. And digital marketing is very important for many agents who are looking for a bigger piece of the pie, because how many people in their 30s and 20s are picking up a newspaper with an advertisement? You get these mailers that come in the mail, and they do work. They do work. But the mailers, I don't even open up those things with little coupons in it. My husband still goes through it and he finds the mulch one. And
Same.
I'm like, throw it right in the garbage. It's less things for me to deal with. But when you hear about somebody, what do? I want to try a new, I want to look at weighted vests. What do? I'm Googling.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking of using this person. I want to see their presence. I want to see who they are. What are their reviews? What's that restaurant? You check in with reviews.
Yes.
And when I can advertise for myself online, it also shows that I have the skill set that I can promote your home. And I can get it out to the people, who's your target audience? It might be people from the east side of the state who are coming out, or New York City. So who am I targeting?
Yes.
So the more I can promote myself, this shows that I can do a better job promoting your house. And that differentiates me from somebody who's still using paper. I use electronic signatures. I use, some people who are, and I am a handshake looking person in the eye. I do want to see you in person.
Yeah.
But I do so much behind the scenes, and I'm working hard because I'm still building a business.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. And you said that you have a website. Do you have?
Yes, it's TerraSalesNJ.com.
Yes. And is that your website? Is that a website that is hosted by Remax, or do you have your own website? It's
hosted by Remax. We use a CRM, and it's hosted there, and it's a challenge as a realtor how much stuff you want to invest in IT versus delegate. Do I want to be a graphic designer? Do I want to be a videographer and I want to be challenging in editing? Do I want to run a website? They've created templates, and most agents are with a bigger brand, and they get some sort of support that way that they pay for. We don't pay for it. Voluntold. This is how much these are your dues. Okay.
Yeah.
So, being cost effective with your business is important, and knowing where to spend your money on. Right now, my website is being hosted by the CRM, and I have some custom domain names, and I am trying to push the button with the balance of how much do I invest in IT and branding and creative work versus being out on the road, taking my buyers out, or calling leads, or giving them the proper content. So it's a balance.
Yeah.
And negotiating deals and signing, doing electronic paperwork. And let me tell you, there's more forms than ever with real estate. It's welcome to Jersey. And the NAR and keeping updated on your the changes with the state and the agency, the National Association of Realtors, and being involved in the community as well. I'm also, I just served as a co-chair to the education committee for the North Central Jersey Association of Realtors.
Oh, okay. So,
and as you may know, I'm a vice president of the Chamber of Commerce.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Well, that's awesome. But I'm
tired just saying it. It's almost like ran a marathon, Sylvania. What you do?
What I do? Yes, I run a marathon. Yes. Love running marathons. But let's dig deeper into the website, because how do you feel about having a template versus having your own presence?
Well, I don't even know how to start with. So the real estate realtors use the MLS, the multiple listings service, to enter in the homes that are for sale, and that's how buyers find the homes. These homes, and it's an old dinosaur. It's check boxes. There's some limited things in this GSMLS, and this is the IDX that goes out to where Zillow and Realtor and Homes.com pick up. And they put their little flair on it, on the MLS. And that's where the CRM that Remax supports, or EXP or Coldwell Banker, that's where they pick up their websites. So I'm connected somehow to the IDX on my website with real estate, and that's on my front page. I struggle with coming up with not only I have the content, but I feel like content is like little pads of little squares and you have to quilt it all together.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And my roadmap and my content isn't reflected the way I want it on the website. And the balance of finding my time or hiring somebody to create all that is a goal of mine to solve this project or solve this challenge in 2026.
Yes.
I've got great video content where I do like a seller seminar and a buyer seminar, and I need landing pages so that I can lead capture. I don't want to put all this stuff out here for other realtors to steal. I want actual buyers and sellers to be looking at my stuff.
Yes.
I've got PDFs that I can download. I've got, phone calls I can schedule, and I have some of these pieces, but it's it's like exercise. If I go to the gym once, I'm not going to, lose all this weight or, be able to fit into this or be able to lift many weights. It takes time and energy and the consistency. And once you get it to that point, you still have to maintain it.
Yes, absolutely. So and I was struggling with that when I first started Line Creatives. Well, that was in 2010. They had different names. Wasn't always Line Creatives, but I struggled with that. I had to do everything. Still struggling with that because you don't have help. You kind of have to do everything by yourself. And but what I learned I think this year it was a big year for that, where I finally was able to let go of things that I can do if I spend all the time and do all the things, but that are not really my forte, like accounting or creating a sales plan. I'm not a salesperson. I'm a designer. So, but there's things that I can if I want to, but it's hard and it takes too much time. And sometimes I feel like, and please let me know if you think differently, but sometimes I feel like small businesses, they think they have to do everything on their own. For example, they put themselves into the situation where they think they need to be a graphic designer. They need to create their own website. They don't want to spend the money on someone who can actually then a lot faster create the website that they would need or the branding that they would need, whatever it is. And that sometimes stalls the whole process of creating a new business. And I did a little research concerning the listings, what are they called, the IDX? Yes, because that was a question that you put into the questionnaire that you sent over. There is plugins that can be used to have all these listings populated automatically, because I think that's what the most important thing is, right? So there is plugins on the back end that can be installed, or iframes can be embedded, and so that you have all this information on your website, even if you're not staying with a templated website from someone else. So that is a possibility. And then what you said with the patches of content, those patches are super important when it comes to the SEO on the back end too, because the SEO and everything goes together with your Google profile. The Google profile and your website, it's kind of a, push and pull, because Google indexes everything that's on your website. And whatever you put out there, that's what you're basically known for in Google. And in order to be, on the first pages, all that needs to be optimized and all play together. Yes. So, and I feel, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel that if you have your own, if you have your own website and you have the SEO, you have all the content where it belongs, and like those videos, you can collect all the information that you need for people to download those videos or PDFs. I think you're standing out more because you can be more you versus using a templated website. So that's the little bit of the difference, because there you can be unique, you can be you. There it's more focused on the template.
How do you feel when Weichert or Remax, or all these big names, do they have more of leverage in getting their websites out in the Google search than an independent?
Well, that depends. Then everybody is there. You know, you can have Remax, but Remax has how many realtors listed in this area? Mm-hmm. So all of them are going to show up because they are not going to, favor you over another Remax agent.
Unless my website's more enhanced. Mm-hmm. If I had, and you said SEO, isn't it? Are they getting rid of hashtags or something right now with Facebook? And they're going, what about meta tags and SEO? Like,
oh, that's lots of different topics.
Okay.
So
if somebody were to go into my CRM and make some custom pages and do the metas and the SEOs and the hashtags, would I still have the power of being custom, but then the power of the big brand behind me as well?
Yes. If you're okay with the kind of the templated approach that looks like everybody else's, then yes. That is totally fine.
Depending on the programs that you're in, and everything's constantly being renovated in this world. Yeah. Especially with IT. But there is some benefit of some sort of hybrid. I mean, I'd love to say, and there's some people who, don't want to be at the big brand, so they just niche off into a tiny, like a brokerage, and that's when I built my brand, Tara Lauterbach Real Estate Group. Mm-hmm. I built that with that intention that I could take this brand anywhere. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
But I am under Remax. But if I wanted to just start my own brokerage, obviously I'd have to get my broker's license, which I still debate too if I really want to or not. Yeah. I don't want that responsibility. I have enough going on. But I want to be able to take my brand with me.
Yes.
And to be able to take that website, and if I move to companies, and I know the mortgage company in the last couple of years, a lot of people have moved from one mortgage company, the mortgage market, they bought over companies, and you have to streamline all and reconnect all of your new brands. Say you were, I can't think of it. Say you were Movement Mortgage, and now you're cross country or countrywide mortgage. Like, you have to change everything.
Yes.
I want to have something that's smooth and seamless, and that's why. Let me just grab something real here to send you a copy. I've got my new playing cards. I have my brand right on there.
Oh, how cool.
A deck of cards, family fun, something you're not going to want to throw away. Oh, don't put this on the podcast. I don't want other agents to see that.
Okay.
I'm teasing. Yeah, I'm not really. But, I've got pens and keychains, and I'm trying to give stuff so you constantly see my brand.
Yes. So and that's we're talking about
websites, and now I'm talking about the brand.
No, but that's very important what you're saying, because if you have a templated website, and that's totally fine. I'm not saying anything bad against the templated websites, but you can't take them with you. So, but what I wanted to say is that when you have your own website, you kind of have more flexibility in what you want to do. And now backing up a little bit to SEO and meta tags and hashtags. So hashtags you use on social media. Meta tags is basically what you put in the back end of your website. And that, let's say, you want to be known as the #1 realtor in Morris County. right? So on the back end of your website, all the meta tags and the images and the headlines and the copy inside the text and the way you put the SEO title and the SEO description, they all have to have these keywords, which is, let's just put the best realtor in Morris County, right? So there's a little bit difference between the hashtags and the meta tags and all that. So you can do that on the templated website. Absolutely. That's nothing special that you can only do on your own website. But on the templated website, can you add blogs and things like that?
Yes.
Okay. So because that's also a big, thing that where you have you incorporate the keywords and the key phrases and all that information. You use it in the copy on your website so that Google can reference and really make sure that, yes, you are the best realtor in Morris County. And the blog is the proof for it, because here you mention it and then you mention it in your Google profile as well. And this all plays together. Social media helps, of course, but it's lower on the, on the
And blogs.
Blogs are important, yes. And the blogs, they should talk about, I'm not sure what kind of topic but let's say you want to have a blog post that says, the real estate market in Mount Olive, for example, because you're mentioning Mount Olive. Or you say the real estate market in Morris County, depending on what you're targeting, right? So that it's all kind of working together. And to figure this all out by yourself is...
3 people's full-time jobs.
Exactly. Exactly. Yes. So, and then you talk about your own branding, which you just said, with the things that you would like to, you share with your clients so that they have it with them all the time. And with your own branding, that makes it so much more special. But you want to, like, if you have your brand, that the beautiful logo that you have, right? That has to be connected to your website. And it all has to be one thing, because that's your brand. So let's just say the website has Remax everywhere, but your logo is only small in the footer. Mm-hmm. That doesn't help your branding on the other end. Right. Because then you might hand out all these things with your branding on it, but from the website, people will only see Remax. So depending on what you want to do, one of them has to take the hierarchy. And if you think long term and you say that eventually you really want to have your own, it would make sense to focus more, to put more emphasis on the branding that you have and to promote that so that people know you with that logo and that color palette and that way you advertise instead of just Remax. Mm-hmm. So, and the difference is with your logo and your branding, you're uniquely you and you happen to be at Remax. If Remax is the front and center, you're one of the Remax real agents.
Right.
So that's the difference.
I follow certain laws as disclosure as an agent, but when I can, you're right, I should be enhancing like my phone number is larger than the other number, and some signage I have to keep them equal, and others I have to make it larger.
Yes.
So that would just give me more versatility for the brand. Yes.
So, and I know, like, if you put a sign out, all the signs have to look the same, correct? Like a for sale sign or...
No, actually not necessarily, but it has to have like the office number for the brokerage. It has to have the name of the brokerage.
Yes.
Different rules for different marketing pieces.
Yeah.
So my profile, I have to have it as a business profile. It has to have Remax on it.
Yes. Yeah.
So...
But you are allowed to use your own branding.
Yes.
Okay.
And that goes with my taglines. Is one, I don't say it, but it's if you want to know Mount Olive, you got to know Tara.
I love it.
Like, that's, like it's on some of my stuff, and it's hard. I usually just say I'm fulfilling dreams one home at a time.
Yeah.
Because dreams, are super important. And
yes.
Closing chapters, opening chapters, and helping people get things that they don't think they can get done, and making it happen, making dreams a reality.
Yes, absolutely. So, so real estate is never boring. So you mentioned that there's always funny story and memorable stories. So do you have any stories you feel comfortable sharing one?
It's very humbling. I was taking a buyer to meet the seller about a week before the closing, and I messed up the time. I told him to come at 3, and because seller wanted to show him how to use the HVAC system and where all these things are in the house, like access panels, and he really wanted to hand him this house that this gentleman was going to raise his family in.
Yeah.
And my client, Jason, his wife was 8 months pregnant. They had a 4-year-old and I think a 2-year-old. And we got to get this house. We have to get this house. Anyway, the seller had lived there, for 20 some odd years. And it's very stressful to pack up a house and to decide where you go, what you're packing, what you're keeping. And I messed up the time, and I told them to be there at 3, and the time was 2:00. So we got there, and the husband, the seller, was like, he yelled at me, and he's like, I now have late to the storage unit, and I took the day off, and he was just completely out of his mind. And sometimes my job is just getting taking the blame, and it was my fault. I totally messed up. And once you tell them that you made a mistake and take the ownership, there's not much they can do. They can't just keep on yelling at you because you already admitted to it. Yeah. And it was just really stressful. And going on a week later, we're doing the walkthrough the night before the closing. And the sellers were very nice. The wife was very nice. The husband hated me. Oh. He didn't hate me, but he was, like, oh, that girl, that woman. Yeah. So, I had 2 walkthroughs that night because we were selling Jason's house as well. And it was going to be a closing for their house at 10:00 in the morning. And we're closing on, they were going to buy the house later in the afternoon. And they allowed us to take the refrigerated items out of one house and store it over, because they got babies and you got bottles and cheeses and all sorts of things. So Jason and I head over to the house. The wife, Myra's home, with the kids, or she's going to her sister's house, or they were packing. I can't remember what they were doing. I think they were just done moving, and we had to go do the walkthrough, and then we're at the house, or we're doing the walkthrough. And I said to the husband, the seller, I go, how's it going? And he goes, the bank sold my mortgage note on Monday. We don't have the payoff balance.
Oh no. He
goes, I don't know what's going to, and he just broke down on me. He was like, I don't know what to do. And I'm like, okay, that's what we have attorneys for. and this family, they got to sell this house, and this family has to move in. They have no other place to go to. They have, they have a cord. They've got an 8-month woman pregnant. They've got a moving truck closing one house, moving in the other.
Oh my God.
And then there's things that are always out of your control. So, yeah. So the point is, always be humble, never burn a bridge, because you never know when they're going to need your help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they ended up moving in.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think the attorneys put a ton of money extra in escrow, and they had to wait till the bank sold the note and how much the payoff number was. And, I was handed the commission check that I was supposed to bring back to Remax Heritage Properties. And I went into the kitchen room to get the champagne and everything with this family, and sparkling cider for the family. And the attorney goes to me in the the kitchenette. He goes, Tara, now you know you can't cash this check. We're really not closed.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Okay. You have no idea what goes on in the background. As long as we get up to the finish line, and then we got all these things to tie up at the end sometimes.
Oh, yeah. But it was a happy ending.
It was a happy ending. The family got to move in. The closing somehow happened, and don't ask questions you don't want to know the answers to. You got to have trusted attorneys who are very knowledgeable in the business, and title companies that work well. And I'm fortunate to have a great number of people in my toolkit that I can call and count on. So
yeah, that's very important. That I noticed that too. That because what I was saying before, that doing everything on your own is good. You learn stuff, and But on the other hand, you also need others that can really help you with even going further, or if you're if you need help, that you have someone to, ask for help. So, yes.
I totally agree. I love going to my office. I try to go at least twice a week because there's camaraderie there. And other agents are going through similar problems, and we're all independent. We compete against each other at times.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's also your biggest support system. And I've also found that with the networking groups like the Mount Olive Area Chamber of Commerce.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got a great accountant. I've got a great financial guy. I've got a great insurance guy, graphic design and branding. Like, I want to learn more about it. I don't want to be the expert in it. I don't want to, I can do my basics of Canva and basics of CapCut, but I don't want to be a videographer. So I'll just tape it and somebody else can do the editing. And,
exactly. Yes.
And the website is learning so much more. They keep on telling me to do blogs, and, am I throwing spaghetti at a wall with a social media plan? Where should I be blogging?
You need to be on social media, and social media is very important in different aspects. Because you need, like on Facebook, you need to be on Facebook. That's your community. Instagram, yes, but Facebook especially, because it's more targeted to specific communities. But blogs are very important to make you visible and to put you as an expert. You need to be, you need to stand, even though, like you are competitors, but you're still working together, but you still want to be, you're the go-to. You have all the knowledge. You're the expert. You need to show it. And by blogging, you get credibility.
Okay.
And the blog post doesn't have to be pages and pages and pages long. It can be tips for home buyers, for example, like what advice you have for buyers or sellers, when they're trying to figure out if an agent is actually experienced, that would be a good blog post, because then, you can say, what advice, maybe, I don't know, advice for buyers or sellers when they're trying to find an experienced seller in Morris County. That already gives you, the Morris County tag in your headline. And it all depends on the keywords that you think, you want to be known for. But then have, 5 steps maybe, 5 tips or 3 tips, whatever it is, that you can share with the audience. And then maybe you have a presentation and a video maybe that people can download at the end of that blog, that gives them more information about it.
Okay.
And then you can collect email addresses.
All right.
As an
I
example.
think I have a goal for the month of December to write a blog.
Yeah. But that's like social media, has to be kind of consistent.
Okay. So
You want to keep it
like once a month, get it started.
Yeah, you can have your own cadence, but it has to be, because Google also looks at the dates And if it's from 2020, then it's outdated.
Right.
So you want to be up, you want to be current, you want to be, constantly engaging. And then that gives you more content for your social media plan, because that blog can then be turned into a carousel that you will post on social media. So it all ties together. So then on that social media post, you tie back to the blog where they can download the presentation or more tips that you have. So people from social media see it, they go to your website. And that's always the ultimate goal, to send them to your website to contact you.
So if I did a video for 3 tips on selling in the winter in New Jersey, then to hear more tips, I should do maybe a carousel would have maybe 5 tips and, top 10 tips in a blog.
You can structure it however you want. Just make sure that when you have something to download, it could be, for example, a checklist to download.
Right.
If you want to give all those tips in one post, then you create the checklist that they can download to hang on their fridge, for example. And you have experience with different sellers, and we talked about the personal branding and your own branding. So what do you think makes a realtor look credible online? Like from branding to photos to messaging, like what matters most?
You would be amazed how many people haven't updated our profiles. So when you onboard as a RE/MAX Heritage Properties agent, one of the great things about our company is our broker and office manager have you training like a 30-day plan, a 60-day, a 90-day plan, but they walk you through on all the different social media platforms that you need and how to organize it and put your picture up there and get yourself connected. And the ones who, I Google other agents, like, who is this person? And I look up them and I'm like, they're not even present. If you have you're saying it's one topic and you can come up with your story or your profile, and then you can massage it a little bit for each platform, but to be there, it's your picture or your brand logo if you don't want your picture. But you have to show that you're established. You're not just, a blank face.
Yeah. So updated pictures. Because sometimes I feel like I see the picture and then a completely different person shows up to the meeting.
Yeah.
So the picture is from 20 years ago.
30 years ago?
Yes. So, and having quality pictures, pictures that are not pixelated, pictures that do not just show. I was taking a selfie
at Christmas time or on the cruise ship. And
no.
And there's so many platforms that you could use and AI technology to enhance that one photo. But it has to be realistic, because that's like the big joke in the industry. It's like, oh, look at them. Look at them. I can show you my photos, and I go up to people sometimes like, does it look like me? When I was when I did sales at a direct sales company, very short time I did Southern Living. And the technique was, here's the catalog, and you don't have every piece from Southern Living that you're displaying at the hostess's house. Am I dropping you, or do you understand this? Because I don't think they do parties like that anymore. That used to be the thing 15 years ago. Everybody hosted a party. Now it's like, you're not coming into my house.
No, I know the parties. I have for all different things. Yes.
So the quality, if you thought that the pieces were reflected, you're looking at a bowl or a plate, and you thought it was good quality and it looked decent and it displayed just as well in the catalog, then it was safe to buy stuff in the catalog. When you go to a house and that picture, looks like this, and you start and there's animal feces on the ground or cobwebs. It's like this. How did they get this photo? This is not a good representation. It's a good representation of who you are. Yeah. That's what you need.
Yes.
And one of the ways that agents can get around that if things change. Like say you were an agent who's pregnant, you're not taking a new photo and things change the first couple of months or a year after the baby's born. But a quick way to communicate with your clients is to do a video text and just say, hi, it's Tara. I'm so great talking to you. I can't wait to meet you. I'll be there at 10 o'clock at 123 Main Street. See you then. And they pick up on your personality. And that's what the videos do.
Yeah.
You already picked up my personality and things that I'm like sort of laughing at, or, like I'm a real person. I'm not going to be, and it's very nerve wracking too. And I make mistakes. Like sometimes the hardest part of the job is to unlock a door. It's like, because nobody uses their doors. They go through the garage door, then they hand you a key and everything inside that doorknob is like corroded and rotted because nobody's allowed to use the key for 20 years.
Oh no.
Oh yeah. And, so I'm like, okay, we're getting the lockbox open with the Bluetooth, the lockbox thing. It's like, okay, and they're looking around, the buyers are looking around. like, oops, sometimes that's the hardest part of my job. And I always say, I have a master's in economics and I can't get this open.
No, I get it.
Yeah.
We have, we just recently installed like a keypad at the door, and every time I pass the door, I'm like, okay, this is the code, because I'm terrified that I forget the code, because I know how it's going to be. I know I'm going to forget the key, and then I'm going to be stranded outside, and it is exactly at the time when my husband is traveling somewhere.
Yeah.
So I have no way to get into the house. Yes. So I tested this thing like 10,000 times. Like everything's working, but still, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, so well, that was very nice, Tara. That was a very nice conversation, and thank you so much for this insightful conversation as well. And you bring so much value to this community, and not just as a realtor, but also as a connector, educator, and someone who genuinely cares about the people you work with. So thank you so much for being here. And if anyone who is listening, if you would like to follow Tara's work, you can find her on all channels like Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn at Tara Lauterbach Realtor, or you can connect with her at Remax Heritage Properties and her website, of course, as we mentioned, tarasalesnewjersey.com. And if you're looking to strengthen your brand, sharpen your messaging, and finally build that website that reflects the quality of your business, I'd love to help. Visit lioncreatives.com or find me on Instagram at lioncreatives. I'm also on all the other channels, but mostly Instagram and LinkedIn. So thanks for tuning in to This Might Get Creative, a Behind the Brand podcast, and see you in the next episode.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to This Might Get Creative, a Behind the Brand podcast by Lion Creatives. If you enjoyed this episode, follow the show and share it with someone who loves discovering local businesses and creative entrepreneurs. You can learn more about my work at lioncreatives.com or find me on Instagram, lion.creatives, and LinkedIn at Lion Creatives. Until next time, keep showing up, keep creating, and keep getting seen.